Welcome to the Unclehack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Unclehack Podcast. We're enjoying ourselves, aren't we? First off, July 29th, Whitecourt, Alberta, this weekend, Saturday. Come on down if you are in the area. August 6th, we're back in Calgary, Alberta, for a little rendezvous with the Danger Room. August 26th, we're in Edmonton. September 24th, Vancouver, British Columbia. October 1st, Minneapolis, Minnesota. December 3rd, Plano, Texas, and that's with Danger Cats Comedy. Ooh, isn't that fun? Isn't that exciting? Don't you want to see us live? Of course you do. Maybe not. Who knows? According to online. You know what? Let's address it. Let's get it out of the way. You know, after the last episode, I claimed that a video was a cameo. And the thing that we don't need to talk about the video specifically, okay? I think that's been addressed. But the folks that, here's why the internet shouldn't be taken seriously. You know, like allegations like that are those are some pretty harsh allegations against somebody, just to throw it out there for shits and gigs, right? Just to, just chum the waters a little bit, just to throw something up in the air and see what happens, you know? But folks that just like blindly believe that's why I think that we need to maybe take a step back. Some folks, you know, not all people, you know, some people can recognize me like, oh, you know, but a majority of the population are mouth breathers. And now we have access to technology that I just think that we're too stupid to have in our pocket at times, you know, including myself. You know, I get some dumb ideas in my head, and I'm not sitting here pointing at everybody and being like, look at how dumb I'm in that group. Okay. I am not a person that should be allowed this magnificent piece of technology just to sit inside my pocket, you know? And same with you, you know? It's not like we get up to anything good with it, you know? We're not solving cancer. We're not, and if I'm being honest, there's gotta be a cure by now, right? You know? We're not furthering ourselves as a species. In fact, I think it's more like a decline, you know? The internet and technology just giving us this ability to pretty much surveillance ourselves and expose, right? We love to do that. We love to expose people. We love to make up things about people. We love to annoy one another. We love to be racist on the internet. We love to be homophobic, is like what they like to say, you know? We like to throw around accusations. And that's what makes the internet fun. So if we just looked at it like this is a playground for retards, then I think we could maybe evolve a little bit as human beings. You know, it's like 4chan. Everybody goes on 4chan just to fuck around. Let's go fuck around on 4chan, right? Then you go, there's like a hierarchy system that comes with social media platforms right now. And I don't know if you've noticed that. To me, it's like Facebook is like it's over. It's done. You don't go there for anything other than to physically annoy people, just to see what grandma is whipping up on her status, right? Maybe you see, so nobody goes on Facebook anymore for any sort of information. Instagram and TikTok are battling right now, I think, for top spot. But I think TikTok is like taking over. I think the youth enjoys TikTok. It's fun again. But then again, there's like the underbelly of it where morons exist. You get exposed to things that you've not necessarily, it's like the world is shit. You know, we like to say that. The world has gone to shit. I think it's always been shit. It's just now we have the ability to record things, put it on a platform that can be shared across the universe, right? We can see all the bullshit that happens to specific regions of the planet. And we like to sit here and believe that, you know, there was a time where this was a complete utopia, right? We love, there's like this idea that sits inside our skulls because we're too dumb to like read anything about history as in like the evils. You know, we're trying to erase it. We're taking down the statues. We're getting rid of books. And then on top of that, the books that we're getting rid of, we're replacing it with new ones that men dress up as women and go sit in a library and read them to the kids, and then that's upset. So it's not like this planet has never been, maybe when humans weren't alive, but there was still some I assume some form of chaos that was taking place. It just wasn't in human form, right? We didn't evolve to what we are today. And then as we've got more technology, greed has taken over. A lot of things come in. Like we all have this idea that our ideologies inside our head outweigh the neighbors, right? And we love to argue. And what I'm trying to get at here is just enjoy it. You know, there's no, as I've gotten older, I've slightly realized that the excitement and joy that you experience as a child dissipates at a rapid rate. You know, as you get older, there's an age, there's a bridge you cross. And, you know, even me not having children, right? That's the difficult part, is that at least as a father, you know, I'm speaking to all the young fathers out there. I don't get to experience this, but I've seen it in my friends' eyes. You know, is this excitement and joy of seeing your kids experiencing something for the first time, like a water slide. You know, when you were a kid, we're going to the water. You get fired up about the water slides. Just those two words to get water and a slide together. Usually we just go to a slide in a park, but now you're putting water on it. Holy shit, we're going to have a day. And now, for a while there as an adult, you know, I envy these adults that can carry on with a childlike way of life. You know, I envy it. It's like watching these Twitch streamers and stuff. I think that's what annoys me the most, is that they're just existing in this world that is still like, has this youthfulness to it. There's no sense of like growing up, even though they're making $1 billion a year streaming their favorite video games, you know, and we look at them and we want to call them losers. Now, keep in mind, I'm picking like the elite of the elite when it comes to video games. And then there's a string of individuals that are underneath that are never going to be like, what was that guy's name? Ninja, right? You remember Ninja? They were trying to make him a character with like ESPN and everything. Be like, he's a video game streamer. Like we're supposed to care. Like we're supposed to give a shit. Like we're living in fantasy land with these guys, right? No, I got to go and bend rebar for a living. I got to go and fucking mix cement. You know, my back hurts. I wish I was sitting at home playing NHL 2018 on repeat, just gaming all day and having fucking flare-ups. The fact that some guy broke my shutout streak. I don't know. You know, I would like that as a problem in my life, but it's not there. I just can't dive into the video game realm of this planet. But I envy those people because they're able to exist in this, you know, almost toddler-like fantasy. You know, they get excitement out of video games and whatnot, but I just can't look at the screen, you know. Like, my screen usually is a blend of street fights, laughing hysterically at the pronoun community making up new ones. I like that. I like watching those. Those put me in a manic laugh of trying to figure out what they're saying, and what they're saying those two things together just send me into this like belly laugh. I haven't laughed that hard. Like listening to somebody who thinks that they're a vampire, but also vegan, you know, and then they're coming up with pronouns on the fly and they're trying to, you know, you can refer to me as them or vam, you know, shit like that. That makes me laugh. And then obviously the third one is pornography. Those are the three things consuming my screen time when I am scrolling on my phone. So it is rather difficult to find enjoyment at times. And I find that as an adult, you know, you especially like being childless. And I'm not trying to say that as a flex. I'm not sitting here trying to be like, hey, this is a flex. I have no kids. No, in fact, I'm just like, I'm too insane in my own head to think that I have the wherewithal to take care of a child at times and like to stay on top of things. That's my problem. And I think that, you know, some people, they were just thrown into it. They have to figure it out on the fly. Some people over-plan. Some people just like, hey, it's happening. I don't care, you know? We're all different in our own ways, but I'm just too much of a psychopath inside my own head to think that, A, I would be able to take care of a child with the state of mind that I'm constantly sitting in. But I envy the dads. You know, there's a lot of, this is an envious episode because, you know, this is me looking out into the world to see like, where am I sitting at? Where am I at in the pecking order? You know, where am I sitting in the pecking order right now? Am I above or am I below the average individual? And it takes a moment. It takes, you know, it's quite depressing if you really think about it, you know, because I think we always look at other people as in, as like where we're at in life, the comparison to others, you know, some people got more money than you. Some people got less money than you. You know, this guy's got that car and then this guy's got 3 more kids. So his life must be acting. Oh, Hack has no kids and he does stand. Oh, he must be getting pussy all the time because he's saying fuck Trudeau on the internet. You know, like we look and we compare ourselves to others quite often. And the thought came across my head is just like the excitement and joy in life as you get older, it just kind of slowly dissipates. And I believe I've talked about this in the past. If like, you know, you just find anger. Anger is just a nice emotion. You know, it's easy. It flares you up. It burns calories. It keeps you, you know, it's like you go to work, you just snap one day. And it doesn't necessarily earn you respect. It's more so fear from your coworkers that they're like, oh, I didn't know he was capable of producing that amount of emotion out of a certain scenario, right? You've seen somebody snap and you got to like avoid them for a couple of days because you don't want to get in their crosshairs. It's like, you know, and those that are like attracted to that and then like go to it, they're psychopaths as well because, you know, you can't sit here and think to yourself as like a guy is like breaking a railroad tie. You know, he's beating the shit out of it with a sledgehammer and just yelling, fuck you, as he's just losing his noodle over, you know, somebody misplaced the fucking scroll saw that day. Somebody took the fucking, what do they call it? The fucking reciprocating saw. I forget what, I don't know. Whatever. Pick a tool. Somebody misplaced a tool that they needed in that moment. Now nobody knows where it is. And then that was it. That's a lot of shit has been piling up and finally you can't take it enough. So what do? You just go beat the piss out of something with a sledgehammer. He's fucking smashing the toolbox, right? And those that are like, everything like, oh, we should go solve that. No. Leave him be, okay? Leave him be. Let him get that out of him. And those that are like, oh, fuck, bro, what are you doing, bro? Let those guys get their ass kicked. Let those guys take that one head on. See me, when I see that, I want to watch it, but I also want to be just out of distance to where what the fuck are you looking at? Like the blind rage that takes place that, like, oh, this is good. I haven't seen a good freak out in a while. Because that's what we do. Men and our emotions, I think we got two. It's like content and angry. That's what I think. I think men are only allowed to have two emotions, like content. Content is like sitting in the backyard. You got your smoker going, so you smell the pellets, and you're like, maybe you got a little apple in there. You're getting the scent of like apple hickory, and you're smoking the shit out of some chicken thighs, and you're just thinking to yourself, oh boy, that meat is going to be magnificent. The kids are like over in the corner. They're not making too much noise, but just enough noise where it's like, oh yeah, they're laughing, they're giggling, having fun. They're not being outrageous. There's no sugar high going on. The wife is inside, leaving you be to just sit on the patio and gaze upon a fucking empty sky. And that's you content in that moment. And you're soaking it in. And like, there's no thoughts inside your head. You're just looking at me like, I think the only one that in that moment at that time is you looking into the sky and thinking to yourself, it's too peaceful. What is happening? You're second guessing of sitting in that moment and enjoying it. And then something has to happen. That's when one of the kids falls off the swing, bumps their head, and then an obnoxious cry. Ah! And it's like, yep, there we go. He pushed me down the slide. And then dad has to snap. He got his 45 seconds apiece because you addressed it in your mind while looking into the sky. You're like, it is too good to be true right now. What's going to happen? And I think you hit that crossroad. I do. I think there's a crossroad where you mature as a fella. And I think male maturity just is like skirted past. And male maturity, we're always trying to discuss like, alpha bros are on the internet. They're trying to sell you courses on how to be a better man, how to get pussy, how to do some sort of social media marketing to sell some drop shipped fucking parcels from goddamn China, right? You're going to teach you how to get rich. You and every other guy, we're just going to fucking flood the internet with ads, right? We're going to teach you how to be a social media marketer, and we're going to sell junk to one another, right? That seems to be the courses that they sell you, right? I took a little deep dive into it. So we have that. And then this constant pressure of like, men are toxic. You got to hear about men are toxic. It's in the Barbie movie, the patriarchy is holding women down, which is like another issue. Whoa, spit a lot right there. Which is, being a dude is tough sometimes. And we don't talk about it enough because it's easier to bottle up everything and keep it inside. Let's not snap. Let's not snap at your daughter's birthday this year. Are we going to keep it under control? Are we going to yell at the fucking clown because he can't figure out how to do, he can't make a balloon animal to make it look like a dog to put on your daughter's head, right? But meanwhile, the deeper issue is just like, I didn't get a raise at work. I asked that son of a bitch. I've been here 10 fucking years. I put 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears into this fucking company, and that old prick just can't hand over 50 cents a fucking hour. It would help out. It would help out a little bit, but you can't bitch about that at a birthday party. So what do? You beat the shit out of the clown that you hired to come and do balloon animals for the kids because it feels good. You got a little bit of power over that son of a bitch because you paid him. But that payment towards him, now you're juggling with the idea on like, well, I guess the family vacation isn't going to happen this summer, right? Because fucking my daughter needed a goddamn clown, right? A Barbie impersonator because the movie's in theaters and oh God almighty, here we fucking go. I totally understand the male brain more, or I'm understanding the male brain as I evolve and slowly grow old in this life. The average guy. I'm not talking about Suit Dummy Carl or these podcasters that go on and like want to argue with dumb women. It's like that article. I think we talked about it. Like women going on podcasts and looking dumb, and it's well, they should get together, have a discussion, and be like, I don't think it's a good idea to go on here. These guys have talking points that they hammer down on, and none of us looked into this. You know, if you're taking an interview, and I don't mean to be woman bashing right now, but if you were taking an interview, right, or you're going to do a live stream, you're going to be on a podcast, wouldn't you go and research the podcast just slightly to see what they talk about, first off? And secondly, would you not go in there with some points so that way you don't look like a fucking idiot? You know, I understand that those guys have done that so many episodes, and I think it's called like Fresh and Fit or whatever. The podcast is called Whatever Podcast. And they bring these ladies in and they hammer them on the same topics, you know? And it wouldn't be hard to just like sit back, hear what they have to say, and then have a reasonable conversation, but none of them go in there with anything worth saying. And they're able to get these like clickbaity clips out of these ladies because they just back them into a corner and it's like, oh, thank you, said something dumb. Said something dumb, we'll put that on the internet. You know, why don't women do that? Why isn't there like 3 lady hosts that bring in these like stupid alpha bros that go and waltz the club every fucking weekend looking for some pussy and love getting fucked up, injecting themselves with steroids, whatever it may be, whatever guys you want to drag on there, you know, fucking bring them on and make them look dumb. But nobody thinks about that. Oh, they're just making fucking... Why is that? I was just going off. See, this is, you let your mind go for a walk sometimes and you never know where you're going to end up. That's the joy of this podcast. You know, I have some talking points, but there was one, like I was just sitting here. I wrote it down, right? And I was thinking about it last night as I'm laying there staring at the back of my eyeballs, trying to wonder like, hey, when am I going to fall asleep? You know? I wish I could have those. I wish I could had the ability to relax my mind and fall asleep as quickly as possible. But I just can't figure that fucking thing out, you know? And I wrote it down as like, excitement and joy later in life, does it exist? And I was just sitting there stewing on it. And it's like, I try and find myself being excited about things and it just doesn't happen anymore. You know, when somebody does something nice for you, it's like, maybe I'm too jaded so late in this life. Because it seems like it's like, oh, what does this fucking person want? You know? Somebody does something nice for you. You're like, what the fuck do you want me to do for you now? Is this like, is that just like how the world operates? I don't quite understand. I understand, you know, maybe most people don't fucking live the way I do. And aren't involved in the things that I'm at. But like I've noticed like in the entertainment industry that if somebody's doing something nice for you, there might be something behind it, you know? You got to be like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? You can see through some people with that horse shit. And it annoys me, you know? It's just like, just call me fucking gay like the rest. Don't be fake nice. I hate that, you know? But on the contrary, it's like, you know, after a show, it's like, hey, fucking, you know, I get told that some people try and call me out on it. One guy did on the weekend there when we were filming with Sam Walker, and he goes, this shit has to annoy you by now. Everybody just yelling in your face. And I was like, you know what? In the moment, it can, but if it goes away, that means I failed immensely. You know, if it all just went away, everybody forgot who I was and nobody came to stand-up shows. Nobody came and seen my comedy. Nobody fucking gave a shit about my dumb jokes that I put on the internet, and it all just goes away. I have to go and work a regular job. And I say that with respect to those that do. Okay? I say that with sincerity, because we all know, okay? You can't sit here and fucking tell me, right? You can't sit here and tell me if the money wasn't good, you wouldn't want to fly up to fucking Whitehorse or fucking, where's another, just a god-awful, you wouldn't want to be in some location that is nowhere near your home, for one, far away from your loved ones, your family, you know, the sacrifice that you make to go up there and ensure that your children, your spouse, or whoever it may be has a good life, right? And this is all you know. You woke up. You grew up working on vehicles. You enjoyed it. It was a nice hobby, or maybe you enjoyed carpentry. The old man was a carpenter, and it was a skill that was passed down to you. And you just like, yeah, this is just the way of life, you know? This is just the way of life. This is how things are done. And I'm just saying, we all had dreams when we were kids, and they went away. This is a very morbid and dark episode, and some of you are probably laughing at the fact that I'm talking about this, which is great. That means we're all on the same page, you know? Like I said, and this goes back to like the envy that I have for these fucking losers that can sit there and play video games for 18 hours and just be like, thanks, chat. It's just so cringy. It annoys me. It's like, fuck you, you know? I want to just live in a world where like the grunt work is respected, you know? Instead, we love to look at these morons, even myself included. I go on the internet and I talk shit. And, you know, when I talk shit, I'm about to get shit thrown back at me in return. And I'm totally aware that is about to happen. Like, that shit happens, all right? It's a clear indication that I made fun of somebody and they went to the extent of calling me a pedophile. Not only that, but that I sexually assaulted a minor by getting her drunk, which is insane. That's insane behavior, you know? And how do you, first off, I'll talk about that first. And how do you defend that? You know, how do you defend when somebody's like, you know what, you fucking did this, and he's yelling and all this, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, how the fuck do you bring that up? You know, somebody slings that one at you, and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, great. Because at the age of 23, at that age that he claimed, I was a minor hockey coach, all right? That's what I was doing at that time. I just finished fighting, and I moved back to my hometown of Tabor, Alberta, got a job there, and then me and my cousin decided to volunteer and coach minor hockey. So to throw a claim like that, you know, there's only a small period of my life where it was just complete chaos, and I documented it and put it on the internet, and you can see it. It was outrageous. It was out of control. Yes, when I was younger, did we go and get banged up from time to time? Of course, but majority of my life was spent inside of a fucking martial arts gym, you know? So it's crazy to make an accusation like that, and especially, you know, I highly doubt that he was living in my town at the time. So whenever that allegation was made, first off, there's no date, there's no record of this. It's crazy. It's crazy. We are insane. We're at peak insanity right now with the internet. We can do whatever we want. It's total madness. And if you think that's scary, wait until AI starts to really ramp up. You know, that's going to be the part that really ruins some lives. That's where we're going to really hit rock bottom. But it's enjoyable, you know. You got to have a good time while there's fires all around you physically and spiritually, however you want to view it, right? Your mind is always under attack from media, from relationships, from family, friends. There's always problems. And I feel like some of these folks that can sit there in just like complete isolation from other people and be comfortable in it. You know, we seen in the pandemic that a lot of people lost their fucking minds not being able to do just regular ass shit, like going and sitting in a bar and conversing with others. And some people, like, this was their heaven. And the effects of it, I think, you know, of like being locked indoors for that long are really starting to show here in 2023. None of us know how to act in public. A lot of these younger folks now that were 16, maybe 15, 16, they're now 18, and they lost like 2 years of like, that's where the interaction with other folks and like how they involve themselves with society. Like it's a complete meltdown, you know? All these events that have happened, like Stampede was just complete chaos. You're seeing fights all the time. Not that fights didn't happen there. Like, let's be honest, when you put a mass group of people, we're all not going to agree with one another. So there's going to be some altercations, but it just seems like it's different. There's just a weird interaction always taking place. And maybe that's just me looking at it like that. And speaking of that, let's bring our first video up. This is a fun one, okay? We've been on like this whole... This was presented to me in the Discord chat that you can join in the link down below. See the Discord, you can send things in and I'll look at it. I keep on top, and you can join our Telegram. We have a Telegram, which is down below in the description as well. You can join the conversation. You know, that's the nice thing, is I like to build a community of people. So those that are listening and you want to join our Discord or Telegram chat where you can talk shit, you can do whatever you want. The Telegram is a little more free than Discord. I think Discord can kind of clamp down on the wild shit that's said, but for the most, I don't care. This is not a reflection of myself or my view. It's just, hey, go in there and talk shit. And with that being said, let's listen to this. We got volume. There we go. We got volume. Now, the context of this video, okay? A woman goes off on her man because he was looking at a woman. So we're going to take a little view at this video and listen to what's being said, how we're interacting with each other in public. Like, we've lost our minds. See?
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, you better believe that I wear the fucking nuts, nigga, in front of public. You want to fucking try to look at other women, nigga? Now fuck you. You ain't going to look at other women, and you ain't going to tell me you looking at other women.
We have a little child right behind us.
Yeah, I know. I fucking consult the fucking child.
There's a little boy right behind you.
I already know.
See, we're so inconsiderate of others and how, there's a little boy behind you. I don't give a fuck, you know? I wish we could just go back for a moment and be violent, you know? I feel like this would, I don't want to advocate for the violence against women, but some, it's like that Bill Burr bit where he's talking about, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't or you should hit women, but there's some moments that present themselves that you think to yourself, like, if I was just allowed to strike right now, it would solve everything. It would solve everything. It would keep that playing field. We like to say, the patriarchy's keeping us down. Then be stronger. There was a time on this planet where just violent behavior dictated the path that humanity walked. Right? What we build, where we are going to construct society. And now we just kind of like, we tampered it down. Hey, don't you dare think of striking this woman. But in a circumstance like this, like maybe one good, like, whack, put her out for an hour. How long is this flight? How long is this flight? If you could just rock her hard enough that we can get the plane in the air and landed in its destination. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just saying, what can we do to further the process? We're holding up a plane here. We're stuck on the tarmac. We can't lift. There's no liftoff taking place because, this lady thinks that her dude was checking out other ladies, and now you're making my life an inconvenience. And now I'm irritated, right? Then I get to the point where it's like, you need to shut the fuck up or get off the plane. We got to do that. When I was flying back from Winnipeg not long ago, I sat across, there was a lady right across. And, these people kept talking and complaining with the airline staff and kept going, this fucking, you guys took my money and blah, 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 blah. Just kept going and going and going. And finally, the woman had enough. She turned around and said, if you guys don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to hit you. And you want to know what happened? Silence. Radio silence. As soon as violence is presented as an option, it seems that either you're about it or you're not. And it levels out a situation. You know? We've gotten too comfortable of just being loud and obnoxious with no repercussions in this era of humanity. And I'm all for bringing it back. Even myself, you know, when I get a little loud and obnoxious, if somebody was to just strike me in the mouth and be like, I'm just self-aware enough to realize that maybe I deserve that, you know? I'm just aware of my being that maybe in that moment when I was talking, when I should have been fucking looking around like, am I adding to the destruction? Am I adding to the madness? Oh, I am? Oh, I'm about to get hit. I think that just needs to come back for a moment. Level us all out again, you know? Level us out. We are violent by nature. We enjoy the violence. We love watching it on the internet. You know, once they took Live Leak away from us, you remember when they took Live Leak away from us? We were seeking, where am I going to get my war footage? And a new website pops up. It presents itself. It's like, we don't worry. We got you covered.
Hey, look, I'm not going to say nothing if you don't say nothing trying to cause a commotion, because he's a fucking problem. You want to fucking try to fucking say shit to me, nigga? So shut the fuck up. Nigga, fuck you. You want to fucking watch when we get home, nigga?
Just take her off the plane.
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm not bringing my bag to why? If I want to bring my bag, yeah. Fuck
I like...
So shut the fuck up. Nigga, fuck you. You want to fucking watch when we get home, nigga?
Just take her off the plane.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. First off, suck my dick is what she says to him. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Why that? See, ladies are so unoriginal. Women are so unoriginal. They can't come up and be like, eat my pussy. You can't say that because it would be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I would do that. But I can't, you know. What happens there? Do you have just like a dildo, like a strap on? Do you have the strap on ready? And be like, you can suck my... That would be humiliating. But to be like, eat my pussy. And you'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, sure. Is it going to shut you up? Is it going to shut you up? Okay, I'll do that. But I'm not going to blow your strap on. It does nothing for me, nothing for you. Maybe there's like a psychological factor where you're establishing dominance over me. Maybe that will shut you up and be like, then you can talk more shit. There's no pleasure to be had. We're not meeting in the middle. We're not finding any... Why suck my dick? Why do women use that suck my dick as like an insulting thing? Because it's like, it's more confusing if anything. If a woman told me to suck her dick, I'm like, oh, great. It's one of these. We got a fucking winner's sales associate over here with the IQ level of like, who even at the IQ level of a mockingbird, you know, over here, suck my dick. Jesus Christ. What causes this? Where do you learn this behavior?
Fuck you. I'm not bringing my bag to why? If I want to bring my bag, I'm not ever going to see you again. I swear to God, don't you ever come to my house, nigga. I'll call the police on you. Fuck you.
The evolution of this argument is like very fascinating. It went from being like, don't you look at anybody? Don't you look at no motherfucking women? To all of a sudden, now it's like, don't you come to my house no more. I'll call the police.
Oh, really?
You're going out of control.
Nigga, I'll put this right now. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
All right, Sarah, here, come up with us.
No. Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get off. You're assaulting me, man.
Oh, I'm assaulting you?
Yeah,
I don't know for fucking years. I'm assaulting you? I'm gonna get my purse.
She's fat, in case you're wondering. Both of them are fat. Both are fat, in case you are wondering what they're looking like. Those listening in the car with the wife and being like, see, this is why you don't act like that, lady. This is a perfect example. Like, if you're listening to this in the car with the wife, girlfriend, maybe a slam piece, all right? Let her soak in the behavior of erratic women, you know? To men that are listening to this, you're just thinking to yourself like, oh, first off, I guarantee you she fucks like a minx. Any woman that acts like that in public, I guarantee you in the sack, oh boy, she'll melt your brain. She'll have you say, like, making sentences that don't make any sense after you bust, you know? You're just laying there in a pool of sweat and cum on your belly and thinking to yourself, like, you can't form a thought, can't form a sentence. You feel like you're melting into the bed or whatever, wherever you are in that moment, you know? You're just like, you've melted. Your muscles have relaxed. It's like it's like this euphoric feeling you can't describe, right? It's like, you know, when you get the tingles up your back when somebody does something like real genuine and real nice, you know, that feeling that goes up your spine and you're like, oh, I don't know what just happened there, but it felt good. Whatever that was, I guarantee you that's what that sex life is like. The best is watching.
Oh, really?
You're going out of control.
I'll put you right now. You shut the fuck up.
When he barges out of this seat,
Sarah, near come up.
white women like, sir, come with me, sir. They got to be so polite on the plane. You know, when can we go to the customer is wrong? Why don't we go there? Why don't we go to a time where the customer is wrong? And right here is like, you can fight them without the fear of being fired. You know, let's bring that into play for just a moment. Just a moment. Let's try it out. Let trial and error with this, right? It's kind of like lockdowns, right? We thought lockdowns were going to be the answer. Turned out it wasn't that. Maybe we got to go further instead of locking it down and trying to like contain all of this and be like, hey, calm down. No. Fire it up. 5th gear, 6th gear. Do we have 8 gears? Let's find out how many are in the tank. How fucking crazy can this shit go? You know, it's all going down in a fiery crash, right? The dollar is plummeting. There's wars that are being almost taunted in front of our face, right? We're being taunted with war, nuclear war, climate change is happening. Constant fear is in the air and there's no release. You know, the pressure release valve is stuck. We got nowhere to go. The constant pressure of inflation that is happening, right? And situations and scenarios like this present a perfect opportunity for you and I to release a little bit of that. You know, not everybody can go down to the martial arts studio and hit a bag. Not everybody finds relief in going to the gym and lifting weights. Some people just find relief on beating the shit out of one another on a budget airline. And that's fine. We got to allow that to happen. We got to give these people some sort of, what I would call physical therapy. And that's what that is.
Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get up. You're assaulting me, man.
He busted through her defense. Awful, by the way. If he was a running back, he would have leveled her, right? If he was a lineman, he got through the O-line and that quarterback is exposed. He got through there, no problem.
I'm assaulting you. I know you for fucking years. I'm assaulting you.
She hit She hit him with something. I don't know what it was.
I know you for fucking years. I'm assaulting you. I'm gonna get my purse.
Just a slob.
Fuck you. You want to say I'm assaulting you? Fuck you. Fuck you, man.
You want to say I'm assaulting you? As she like fucking It looked like a Mankind and The Rock I Quit match with whatever she fucking hit him with. Here it comes. One more time. Wow!
Sarah, near Nick, come up with us.
No. Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get up. You're assaulting me, man.
Oh, I'm assaulting you?
Yeah,
I know you for fucking years. I'm assaulting you?
See, like right there is where you just gotta allow the fellas. Okay, she thought she was slick trying to hit me with the fucking fire extinguisher outside of the ring. This is where like one good boom would just like hit a reset, put her on Queer Street. And then I'm not advocating the violence against women, okay? I'm advocating for men defending themselves. Like right here. He could have leveled that fucking slob. And I think it would have been like accepted at that point. You know, there'll probably be a few white knights that would want to stand up. You can't hit a woman. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Do you want this flight to take off? She's got to go night-night. Do you want to get to Phoenix, Arizona in a timely manner without having to deal with this shit? Then you're going to need to put your morals in the back pocket here and let me fucking hit her with a haymaker. Okay? A Mike Tyson uppercut from hell. And we can all carry on. She'll be out cold. I promise when she wakes up again, I'll give her a nice little slick right. And we'll put her back to sleep. And we'll all have a peaceful flight from here on out. You got your viral clip, right? You got your guys' clips. You can upload it to TikTok. Make me famous. Make me the evil guy. When in reality, I'm the nice guy. Because I leveled the loudmouth, right? And don't worry. It's not going to carry on at home. Don't worry about it. It's not going to carry on at home. It's none of your concern. You don't need to question me on whether or not I strike my girlfriend at home. None of your concern. Let's get the fucking wheels up into the fucking airplane and get to goddamn Phoenix, Arizona. You know?
I'm gonna get my purse.
Are you okay?
Fuck you. You wanna say I'm assaulting you?
You want to say I'm assaulting you? Meanwhile, she's like hit him 3 times. 3 times. Isn't that the number? Didn't that? If a woman hits you 3 times, you get to give her 1.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Memo. Man. Yeah, I'm going over there.
You're gonna be charged with assault.
Fine, whatever. Oh yeah, Memo?
Ma'am, you're going to be charged with assault. Yeah, whatever. Oh, I'm assaulting you? I'm assaulting you? I'm assaulting you? I'm assaulting you? And I can't imagine. I wonder how many dudes are stuck in relationships with ladies like that just make you fucking want to snap, you know? How many fellas are out there stuck with a lady that thinks it's acceptable to fucking hit them on an airplane, you know? And it could have been, you imagine that whole debacle was over the fact that he like looked at the stewardess and she just smiled, "Hi, how are you?" As you're walking in, you know how they greet you coming onto the plane? You imagine if that was all about that? That would be magnificent. If that argument right there was all over the fact that, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, out of all the things that I've done and said on this podcast over the past while and the topics that I've presented to you, I think burping on air is the most grotesque thing I could possibly do. I apologize. I apologize. Lastly, you know, before we get into the world's favorite, oh, that is just obnoxious. That is too much, isn't it? This one is fun, okay? YouTubers. So in the UK, I don't know, I'd imagine that a few of the boys that listen to this, pro-oil guys, right? Well, what's happening over there is, I think it's, okay, here we go. YouTubers prank just stop oil with alarms and balloons. So there's a gathering that takes place and all these anti-oil protesters get together and they must be drumming up their next little plan, what street they're going to block, how they're going to annoy the public, You know, where are we going to go and annoy everybody out there in the real world that has real problems, instead of sitting here worrying about big oil and all the bullshit that comes with it. And, you know, instead of, you know, going to the folks that can actually make the change happen. No, we're going to go and annoy the public. Well, guess what, folks? They got a little bit of that back at them. Okay. So these YouTubers, Josh and Archie, is their YouTube channel. Well, they took it upon themselves. So they go into a big oil protest and they tie these alarms to some balloons filled with helium as they're all gathered together. And you're going to hear what is the most annoying sound. Okay. You know, they must be like fire alarms of some sort, and they tie them to balloons and let them go inside this, what looks to be like a massive cathedral. And they're having their little annual meeting of, or maybe their quarterly meeting of, hey, which streets are we going to block and annoy the general public? Well, now we're fighting fire with fire, gentlemen. Listen to this. Oh, there goes the balloons. They're stuck at the top of this fucking place. And now everybody's scrambling. Look at these people. This is amazing. I'm sure they're probably paid by the Daily Mail. There she is. It's always, what's with those combat boots that these like pseudo anarchists are always wearing out in the streets, you know? There's always like they all have the same look, you know? I'm sure they're probably paid by the Daily Mail. This is hilarious. It's almost like you don't like being annoyed. And they've left us with a very difficult problem to solve. Ah, yes. Oh, yes, a very difficult problem to solve. Oh, this is great. This is grand. This is beautiful. It's very enjoyable watching those that annoy people become annoyed. There's satisfaction that comes with that. You know, and I understand that this is miles, hundreds of miles away from me. I've never been involved in a scenario where anti-oil protesters have like annoyed me. It's usually I watch the video online. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't understand how people can deal with this type of shit happening around them all the time. You know, it's like the PETA people when they go to the grocery store and they'll put roses on a fucking steak to be like, I can't believe. And then they'll lay in the aisles of the poultry section and to make it difficult for you to get your chicken wings. You know, they'll smash eggs and be like, this is disgusting and grotesque that you're eating chicken eggs. You know, they make a big deal out of something that none of us really fucking care about. It's nice to see some passion involved with some shit, you know, but with that, it's just like, oh God, we get it. You're vegan. Very, very irritating. And these folks, now that they've gathered all together and these YouTubers took it upon themselves to go and disrupt their little get together, they got a nice cello. They had a nice cello playing. Everybody's trying to enjoy their organic tea. This is good. All right. Look at this. They've now gotten ladders. They're trying to operate a ladder, and this is something. Oh my God. They have no idea. This moron, okay, he's on the ladder. It has to be like 100-foot ceiling by the looks of it, because it's got to be what is that? Maybe a little lower than an 80-foot ceiling. So he's probably on like a 30 to 40-foot ladder here. Nowhere near close to to these balloons that have, and there's one in the center of the room, which would be interesting. You know, most people, anybody with a thought inside their head would probably try and think of something like, how can I shoot this down you know? But instead, these jackasses, let's throw something sharp at it, you know? But then this jackass gets up there with a ladder. What's he going to use to get this down? Oh, he has a stick of some sort. But isn't that nice that we're getting a little bit thrown back at them, a little bit of annoyance thrown in their face? It's very fun to sit back and watch these people get what they throw out there in return. But with that being said, it is time for hate mail. I love me a good dose of hate mail. I do. I do. I love really knowing what the people are thinking about. I like that people come to this show to release their inner anger. And you can do that by emailing me, unclehack at dangercats.tv. This is the longest running segment that this show has ever had. In fact, I think it's the only segment that we've ever had, if I'm being truly honest. You know, all the thought and preparation that goes into this podcast, I don't understand why people don't respect me more. You know, I don't understand why there isn't more listens. You know, I don't understand that. Why am I not at the top of the charts? Simple. Idiots attract idiots. And that's what I do on here. unclehack at dangercats.tv. You can email me with the subject line hate mail, and we will present, or we will talk about it. We'll read it live on the show. Because that's how kind I am as a human being. To come on here and give you my platform that generates millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of views. Okay, our first piece of hate mail. What's up, you fucking moron? Nice, thank you. Just wanted to say, me and the boys love your podcast. Real talk though, what's up with all these fucking losers claiming that you fell off? I've been watching your podcast ever since it started, and I look forward to it every week when you drop. Your podcast is the only news I get in my life. I know how retarded am I? I know how retarded am I? Okay, I am. Okay, all right. Am I? But I don't watch it for the news. I watch it for the retarded shit you say. Why, thank you. Your podcast gets me through my work days and provides me the stability of not driving off a fucking cliff when I clock out. All jokes aside, I want to congratulate you and you on your U.S. tour and let you know the boys in Ontario rock with the podcast and the comedy. Keep grinding the comedy like Adam 22's wife was grinding that BBC. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for you to drop next week, brother. Cheers from the fuckheads from Owen Sound. Oh, how nice of you to write into the show, boys. Very kind of you to express your inner anger and release it here. You know, manifesting, I think is what the white women say. I'm manifesting anger out of those. And it's good. We got to get it out of our system. Hey, Uncle Hack, I followed you for a long time, and when you brought out hate mail, I was pumped. So here you go. My girlfriend's father went to work in Ontario and left me and her and his wife to take care of the house. Me and the old lady do everything around the house, and it fucking drives me insane. Her dogs shit all over the floor, and she leaves shit everywhere. She just sits on her ass and smokes dopes and drinks like a whore all day long. There is nothing worse than a lazy sack of shit. But anyways, thanks, Hack, and I always enjoy the pod. Rock the hell on. Seafood chowder. Yeah, that is a rather difficult situation to be in, isn't it? Just sitting around, and dogs shitting all over the floor, and it's like, oh my God, what is happening here? You know, us men, we really got to get our shit together here. All right, this is a big one. This is a nice one to end the show on. Hi, Hack. Fucking beauty podcast, bud. I got some hate mail. He spelled male like the gender male. That's great. That's my audience, baby. My reading level and my ability to like read these emails is on par for grammar with those that write in. I got some hate mail for you this week, bud. A buddy of mine has been dating this bitch for over a year now, and he fucking hates his life. He told all the fellas he took a job a couple hours away from home just to get away from the old bird for the summer. Yet he still hangs out with her on the weekends instead of guzzing beers with the fellas. We love the guy, but he's a pussy, and he can't end things with her because she has him pussy trapped, even though he only pumps once a month. He's absolutely miserable with this lady, and to get things worse, she's a crazy libtard feminist. Oh. The reason he can't ditch the bitch is because she has some dirt on him, and he's scared he's going to end up in some real trouble if the dirt gets out. She's the type of girl to throw him under the bus and do some sabotage shit. He told us last August that he was going to break up with her, but he's still with her despite all of us telling him he's fucking whipped like no tomorrow. All of us guys said he's on his own, and we're not doing anything to help him anymore, thinking he'd come to his senses, but now things are getting worse. He's had many chances to move on, like we just got back from a Vegas trip, and he had prime opportunities with other birds, but he was scared about the ball and chain at home. We are scared she's going to go full feminist and propose to him, and him being the wimp he is, won't be able to say no, or even worse, she's going to baby trap him. It's come to the point where I want to talk to the bitch myself, but he needs to grow a pair and cut things off. Hack, I think he's a lost cause, but I'm coming to you for some advice. What do you think he should do? Also, what do you think I should do? Thanks, buddy. P.S. The guy from last week was right. Get back on the torpedoes and throw that liberal sissy boy vape out, or at least pack a lip like fuck. Dirty Don. Well, Dirty Don, the gums took a little bit of a ride when I was on the fucking torpedoes, as you say, so I had to drop it. I had to get rid of them. Dennis looked at me and he said, buddy, do you want teeth? And I was like, yes. He goes, I suggest you quit chewing because it's fucking eroding your gums faster than buildings in Ukraine. And I said, okay. But to get to your point here about your libtard feminist, you know what you got to do? You got to go in, start showing up at their house and making things hell for her. You know, start showing up, be a nuisance, you know, be racist around her. Who cares? Is she going to get some dirt on you? Are you going to lose a job? I doubt it. Who cares? She's a retard, right? So what you got to do is like show some, you know what you got to do is give your buddy an out. Be like, listen, gather your shit. I'd imagine if she works, tell him to take a random day off. We're going to pack everything up. You're going to move in with me. Okay? And we're going to get rid of this broad. Enough is enough. Okay? You're miserable. Time to look in the mirror. You're unhappy. You took a job 4 hours. What do you say? Three or 4 hours away from home just to get away from this goddamn broad. What are you doing? You know, take him and talk some sense into him. See, we try. There's something about pussy. You know, we think that there's not another pussy down the road. We always think like, this is the best it's going to get. This is the best. We always settle for less, gentlemen. You know, I hate to sound like one of these rise up kings, but it's time to rise up king. That's a gay thing to say. It's this total gay way of going about this, right? You don't want to hear that let's rise up king horse shit. But like, you know, fight fire with fire. Just like that Stop Oil shit that we just watched right there. You know, what did they do? They went in, they're like, hey, you're annoying the hell out of me. I'm going to annoy the hell out of you. Make her life a living hell. You know, do it back to him. Start showing up unannounced. Be like, hey, we're going to hang out, and just be a nuisance. Eventually, you might fucking scare the bitch out of there. It's kind of like, you know, when you got a ghost in your house and you got to fucking bring the priest in for an exorcism. Think of you as like the priest. You know, it's time to bring peace inside the household. Go in there and start, you know, planting shit. Maybe a porno mag under the sink. There's like little things you can do. You know this individual better than I do. There's things that irritate her that will drive her insane, you know, to go over and be like, yeah, Jesus. I don't know. I think we should start hitting women again. Just make absurd points sitting at the dinner table. Just annoy her the way she's annoying your friend. That's what a true friend. You left a soldier alone in the trenches, and what do you expect? That he's getting pummeled in there, you know? You tried talking him into his senses. Now you went from being reasonable. Now it's time to get to action. Okay. You tried the reasonable approach. He's not getting it. Go in there, cause a ruckus. Time to, you know what? Do it for him. Be like, listen, you're out. You're done. He's my friend now. You're done. You're out. He's moving in with me. Fuck you. We're done. It's over. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out. Depending on whose name is on the lease. If they're renting or if they live together, did he buy a house? Is it her house? Whatever it may be. Figure out the living situation. If he can leave, get him the fuck out of there. Time to get an injured soldier out of the trenches, you know? Get the medic fucking table ready, or the stretcher. Get the stretcher. You're going in. You're rescuing a soldier. A good man is down, and it's time to get on your fucking feet. You and the boys go and move his shit out of there and give him a nice place to stay. Let him get back on his feet. He's working out of town. So, you know he's not going to be around very much, and let him get back to it. Block her number. Tell her to get the fuck out of here. You know? Fight fire with fire. That's the problem. We always watch a good man go down and nobody wants to save it. You know, we're soldiers, boys. We got to be fucking there for one another. We watch this shit happen too many times. Full feminist. You catch her taking a knee and handing him a ring, you kick that fucking thing like it's a 54-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl. You punt that bitch to the next town over. You know, to a different goddamn county. That's upsetting. You're watching your fucking boy go down like this. Tell him it's time. It's time to fucking... We're going David Goggins, baby. Time to get at it. Be there for him. Too many good men. You know? We're allowing all this dumb shit, you know? Have a spine. Have a fucking spine. Say some shit that maybe you don't even mean, just to set some shit off. Who knows? Do whatever you got to do. Get your boy back home. And we thank you for writing in, and we thank you for listening to the Uncle Hack podcast. We appreciate you writing that in. We do. We love that you write this in to our show. Loyal fan base, I will say that. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being out there. Uncle Ag at dangercats.tv. Be sure to check out patreon.com/dangercats69 for a extra episode. It's waiting for you right now. Anyways, gotta go.